Ever felt like enemies are everywhere and you're always one step behind? That's what high tempo Dota does, and in this video I'll show you how to create chaos and make enemies feel scared. What does tempo refer to? Playing high tempo means increasing amount of movement that is happening on the map. That means instead of farming, you are running through places, getting picos and objectives there. Granted, not every time you will be able to play a fast-paced game, but usually the moment you start doing that will be very uncomfortable for enemies. Did you ever remember yourself or your allies saying, "They have vision everywhere" or "They are everywhere"? Yeah, playing high tempo will make your enemies feel lost and overwhelmed, and that's the easiest way to win a Dota game. While in most cases it's easiest for the mid laner to be tempo controller as he's the highest level, in some brackets or games you as a support will have the easiest time doing that. Some heroes like Disruptor or Shaman with a blink allow your team to get pickoffs all over the map as long as you show up there. Sometimes all it takes is 2-3 rotations to set up your team for a victory, and sometimes you have to push enemy base quickly as your draft falls off. In this video, however, I will show you how to increase the tempo of the game in different stages of it. In this game, I picked Mirana 4 and the way I played along with my Hoodwink basically won the game for our team. Right now, I want to give out shoutout to my Hoodwink player as it's been a while since I found a support in my games that wanted to create such chaos on the map that enemies didn't even know what to do. As a side note, this is one of the worst Mirana games you can imagine. Many dispels, heroes that you can't really kill and they deal with you perfectly. I do not suggest picking Mirana unless you absolutely love playing her. As for the heroes in our team, we seem to have a very strong lineup when it comes to playing towards a good tempo. However, most of the moves on the map were dictated by supports, and if you have a good understanding how to rotate properly in the mid game, you can be the metronome of the game. All it takes is some wards, smokes, and the idea how to move around. So my first call is to go towards the bot lane and ward there so we can get early first blood of the game. I want to ward on the lane and secure the lane on bot by killing either Willow or Abaddon, as if I do that they would probably secure the lane for them. If you have a strong carry hero that can snowball off kills, bringing 3 heroes at the start of the game is usually the best play. Instead of this, we catch them at the river and we get an easy first blood and even a bonus kill. However, my initial plan does not change. The kills took place almost a minute ago and enemies have no idea where are the supports, so we want to try killing bot. I took the arrow anyways and I managed to hit it point blank on Abaddon, but it doesn't matter. Just my presence there and some right clicks are enough to secure the kill, and Willow doesn't have a TP at this point. We are at the first minute and what happens is, we got 3 kills, my mid laner got a first blood and I already have 2 kills to my name. I get my boots and sage mask right at the start of the game, and all it took was the one decision to show up on the bot lane. I don't want to show you most of the laning stage as it's some basic Dota, playing range 4, hitting enemies as much as possible and making sure the lane is in a good place. However, thanks to us keeping the lane back, we managed to skewer Morphling back into the tower and kill him. Notice how right after high-fiving my offlaner, my camera shifts to the mid lane as all of the important things of me being able to rotate away happen at once. We killed their carry, lane is in a decent spot and there is an objective on the mid lane, water rune. I also have boots thanks to my early movements, so I pink my co-op and walk towards the rune. I shoot arrow, hit arrow and we kill Phoenix, and just because my mid laner is just a bit far away, I can't click the Lotus on him and save him in time. And as I said, if you give certain carries a good start, they will be able to snowball that and win their lane. This is exactly what is happening on the bot lane, as my Juggernaut is both happy in terms of last hits and the amount of kills he's getting. And think about it, getting a kill on Willow means she doesn't have a TP for the first 2 waves, as Abaddon laning solo versus 2 heroes means he's not getting anything out of the lane. What seems to be small things turns into a big advantage. While this isn't part of the tempo, I just want to show you moments like this. After the mid kill, I go back to the top lane, but again, The lane is in a good position and I can't really pressure morph that well, so I decide to go for the big camp just before going for the rune. Moments like this are the way you get to farm as support. Top lane secured, mid lane ganked, and I got to be at the rune at 6 minutes, so it's a perfect moment for me to farm the camp nearby as long as I have resources to fight for the rune. As I get there, I find Oracle, which at this point doesn't really deal well with me, so after a while we manage to get a Phoenix kill. Notice how 6 people are there at the rune at 6 minutes. I'll say that again, rotate for the runes as supports. The game was a big back and forth up until this point, and I don't want to make this video too long, but that's where the things start to be spicy. We pressure top tower, and the obvious move after that would be going towards the mid tower. However, we smoked into their deep jungle camps, as it's very likely Phoenix will be farming there. Why? The last time we see him on the replay is the mid rune, and he knows that we are likely to push this tower. If he ever TPs away, let's say to the bot lane, that will mean we get the mid tower uncontested, as if there is a fight, he's the hero that will lead them into it. For that reason, we are assuming that Phoenix will be likely around the mid lane, while obviously farming something not to waste time. Considering how his spells work, we can literally pinpoint the exact place he will be standing to farm both camps, and guess what? We get the kill. While this smoke might seem forced a bit, this is how you get advantages on enemies. The top lane is pushed in, so we know for a fact that we will have at least some vision of them, as enemies will be likely to farm that. Then, we also know they don't have Phoenix Egg and Abba's ultimate, as they used them in the last fight. However, they are not really expecting this smoke, as they still have Aegis and feel strong. I managed to catch Phoenix with a good arrow, and the fight is very good for us, despite me dying. Remember, enemies are way more likely to not be mentally ready for the fight if they feel they've got an advantage, and sometimes all it takes is 5 of you to group up and catch enemies off guard. We managed to get pretty good advantage in the game, but what happens here is another example of playing good tempo. We are controlling bottom side of the map, and the logical move is to go for the Roshan, but enemies do know that. However, we have a very good ward on the cliff, and before we get Rosh, we can use that to get a free pickup. We know that enemies are very unlikely to fight us, as we have advantage in our spells, so there's no risk if we go for a quick pickup right now, especially under our ward. Free kill. And right now we're definitely heading for Rosh, right? Well, Hoodwink makes a guess that enemies might be farming in their jungle, as we just kicked them out of the bot lane. By going there, we get a ward that is close to rest of our team, as while we want to take Rosh, at this point our Juggernaut is strong enough to kill it solo. That way, we get to take aggressive positions and protect him while he's taking it, and it also leads us to getting a kill. And that's how we win the game. I'm hopeful that this video showed you good examples of how to increase the tempo of the game. Having deep vision to smoke towards, being able to move through the lanes quickly, and having a good understanding of where enemies are likely to be is the perfect combination to play fast-paced game, and that way you will be able to win more games but also make them quicker. Notice how average game time is shorter as you climb MMR. This is the reason. It's not the ability to farm and be efficient, but it's also the fact that people are focused on actually moving around the map and not just standing in their lanes for far too long. As a side note, I think this is the biggest difference between 7k and 15k players. The gap is huge, sure, but a lot of this is connected to playing towards a fast tempo and closing up the map as quick as possible. 7k players already know how to play the map properly, but compared to higher MMR players, they do it far too slow and not enough. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the Support Heaven channel, like the video and let me know in the comments what would you like to see next. See you!